Favorite Tarantino movie?
Oh yeah,
Kill Bill Volume 1. I love the action. I love the storyline.
I like that one scene where he kind of tells the backstory of the what's the name of the black character?
No,
where it's kind of like animated like anime.
Yeah, Orenishi.
Yeah, that one. That's dope.
what's her name?
Orenishi.
Well, her real actress.
Lucy Liu.
Oh yeah.
Lucy Liu was Orenishi.
Oh, well, you said it. You said the
Yeah. I got him confused, but
Oh yeah, that is trippy.
But the one scene that I do like from that is the beginning of the movie.
The beginning is
with Uma and Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
No. What was her name? Vivica A. Fox.
Vivica A. Fox. Yes.
What you talking about, Willis?
I thought I
My
knew her
bad.
name, but yeah, dude, that beginning scene, I was still like, because I just recently saw the movie, like not even as a kid. I was just like, wait, hold up, they're just literally fighting out of nowhere.
Dun.
Sick ass choreography, bro.
Yeah.
Who would be?
That's one of my favorites, but
And what's another reason you like the movie?
the whole journey she has to go through to find Bill.
I like the writing.
Yeah,
like
it was really
writing's always
good.
been,
Even the
on
second
point.
one I admit is pretty good, but I like the first one more because it has more like of the funky music, her going to Japan to find Orenishi. It's pretty dope.
That
Chops
Tarantino
the
stamp,
top of the head off.
Yeah,
That's
hell
crazy.
yeah.
the gory Tarantino stamp.
Yes.
It's like a live, kind of like a, kind of like a live action bloody anime, you know? Like,
Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
The whole entire thing. Even though Renishi, when she had her meeting with all the leaders in Japan, they made fun of her being half Japanese and American.
do you guys like Uma Thurman better there? And I know she has a smaller part in Pulp Fiction, or in Pulp Fiction, that small scene she has with John Travolta. You didn't like her there?
I mean, for what they asked of her to do, it was cool. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
she made it spot on. But I feel like she was the center of attention in Kill Bill.
Oh yeah, she's
and
the main
she killed
character.
it, no pun intended.
But in Pulp Fiction, I don't think there's really a main character there. It's just a bunch of stories like
Oh, I
intertwined,
guess you're
you know.
right. But in that little, well, then again, because Uma Thurman is pretty much the center of attention in the John Travolta part of the story.
Yeah, because they set her up pretty well. Like,
Yeah, nah.
he's
but
like, it's not a date, all right.
Yeah.
It's the big
The
man's
diner
wife.
scene.
I know when.
you just gotta be careful, man. I heard homeboy fucking they threw him
He's
over.
like, threw him 4 stories through a glass house. He fell through that, left him paralyzed. Damn. All for a foot massage.
I know, right? What'd he do? Oh, he just gave her a foot massage. But Kill Bill, I was gonna say Quill Bill. Kill Bill is your favorite Tarantino movie.
Mhm.
What Tarantino movie have you seen recently?
Or the most recent one, more like,
Yeah,
that he came out with.
One. Probably like the Django, but like that's not even recent. That's years.
It's still recent.
Hateful Eight. Did you guys ever see Hateful Eight?
I haven't seen his Once
I
Upon
like
a Time
it.
in Hollywood yet. I have not seen it.
Neither have I,
haven't
which I
seen
need
it
to
either.
hop on it ASAP.
Yeah.
What movie? Hateful Eight. You guys seen it?
You should see that.
I've seen it. Yeah, it's cool.
That fool has a way of telling stories, bro.
I love his storytelling because, and it started off. I think one of his first movies was Reservoir Dogs, where it starts from the beginning, everyone's all cool, and then right after the title, it cuts to like after, like, because Reservoir Dogs, I'm sure you guys have seen it, is like they're involved in a bank robbery.
Mm-hmm.
So in the beginning, they're kind of like just chopping it up, like, you know, just like characters and shit. And then after the title, it's after the robbery and like a person shot, and you're like, how the hell did we get here? And
Yeah.
slowly it just like,
It's like the
Story
middle
starts
was missing.
developing.
It's like
Yeah,
they went
yeah.
from the beginning to the end.
I've always liked that style. And Pulp Fiction, I think, was the one that cemented that style. Oh, actually, no. Reservoir Dogs did. Pulp Fiction was just, I mean, like a nice addition to that style.
Mm-hmm.
And it was dope because you see Travolta and Samuel Jackson at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
You see Travolta's character die in the middle, and then it goes back to
Why?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like jumping around,
but it's like a good.
but you could tell what's like
Yeah.
what takes place when, you know.
I'm a big fan of that type of like storytelling. Like
And the one, yeah,
like 3 different stories, and you're just like, there's no way they correlate. And at the end, you're like, oh shit, makes for very well entertaining.
And the one thing that carries it, I think, is just the dialogue, like the writing. I love his writing. Like,
It's very normal, isn't it?
I was about to say it feels very casual. Like it's a conversation people would actually have. Those type of people would actually have. You know, it's like, yeah.
Anything else you want to say about Kill Bill?
No, but I was gonna say, what are your movies?
Go with you or
me? Okay. Feel like Pulp Fiction's everyone's. I really liked Reservoir Dogs for a while too. But I would probably have to go with Django for me. The writing, I'm a huge fan of westerns, or a big fan of westerns, more like.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
And again, the writing, and a lot of people complained it was a little too long, which I could kind of see, but I liked the story how it played out. And Jamie Foxx killed as Django. It was originally, I think, written for.
No pun intended.
What?
Because he literally killed everybody.
Yeah, he killed everyone. But it was, that part was originally written for Will Smith.
Oh shit! Yeah. I did not know that.
I forget what movie he was filming at the time, or I think it was like his schedule wouldn't.
Conflict.
Yeah, schedule conflict. But
I thought was filming I Am Rojas.
Oh shit. But he ended up getting Tarantino ended up getting Jamie Foxx, and
yeah, that's a good fit. Yeah.
I love Samuel Jackson in that one too. Like, you guys seen it, right?
Yeah, I've seen it. And if they would have casted Will Smith, I would have gone like Wild Wild West vibes.
Oh, I forgot about that movie.
I think it would have been a redemption of that. Like, because Tarantino, like, he's a good director. I haven't worked with him, but just the way, the energy that his movies have, you can tell. Like, it's like.
Did you guys ever watch that one, Wild Wild West?
No,
I never saw it.
I never saw it either, but
no.
I made a reference to it. Have you seen it?
Nah. But I did hear it was one of his flops, I think, right? Will Smith's? Yeah. But yeah, Django, I really liked. And it's probably, at this moment, my favorite Tarantino movie.
He makes it so real, too. Just with the dialogue.
It's so witty, too. Like, one of my favorite scenes is towards the end with, of course, Sam Jackson, where he's out of one of his revolvers. He, like, shoots these guys, and then Sam Jackson's he's like, I count 6 bullets. And Django's like, I count 2 guns. I'm like, oh shit. About to blast.
I forgot about that shit. But damn.
So witty. That's what I love about his writing.
And the action, the explosions.
For me, it's just the dialogue, the banter. Because, he's a slave turned bounty hunter. So when he goes to Candy Cane or Candy Lane's
ranch, plantation. There
you go. It's gonna be filled with white racist assholes, and just seeing the banter be back and forth between that was like really good.
Intense.
It's very intense because like as a slave, you can't say anything to your master or just fucking get punished.
And then his partner, the guy who got him into bounty hunter, was like, you got to play the role like of a bounty hunter, like, of a free man. He's like, and then given the banter that they have, that Jamie Foxx has with the slave owners, you could just tell he's kind of feeling himself a little too much. Yeah. But he's like, hey, you told me to play the role. I'm gonna play the role. Like, it's good, dude.
And Samuel L. hated him, huh?
Dude,
his character hated him for that shit.
But he's so funny in that movie. Samuel Jackson. Yeah, he's mostly the standout in most of the Tarantino movies, I think. Like in Hateful Eight, that scene where he's telling that story about the guy that he made like suck his dick or like look at his junk or some shit.
I actually don't remember, bro.
You're like, yeah, it's like
you have to jog my memory.
It was like one of the funniest scenes. I forget who's telling the story to, but he's just telling a story about how he scared some guy into like. Yeah.
Giving him a service.
Yeah, giving him service. Yeah.
Wait, what? Wait, who? Samuel L.?
Yeah, Samuel L.
Well, I've never seen this movie. I've never seen it play.
I actually don't remember that.
Not giving him service, but there's a scene. I don't remember exactly, but he just like, you just see like the camera's at Samuel Jackson's legs, and you see the pants drop, and then he's like, it's a funny ass scene. I remember like dying.
Man, I really don't remember,
I didn't
bro.
see that movie.
Honestly, that's crazy. That movie's really good too.
Yeah.
Hateful Eight.
I haven't seen it.
Like a Western Pulp Fiction, if you think about
Kinda.
it. Yeah.
Kinda.
So yeah, that was my top
Which one's yours? You never mentioned it.
Tarantino.
I actually like Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
There's
You can't
something
go
I like
wrong with
about
that.
Reservoir Dogs. It's how like it's a weird story. They all start off really, really cool, and then by the end they're like pinned against each other.
And they each have their own personality. Like Mr. Pink, which is Steve Buscemi's character, is a smart, professional one. Like the whole movie, I'm like, listen to this guy, because I've seen him recently. I've seen Pulp Fiction and I've seen Reservoir Dogs, like within this last week. And yeah, seeing him now, you kind of catch on to shit.
But isn't that what you say now? But in the beginning of the movie, he says something like very ignorant. Well, it could be taken smart,
Yeah.
or it can be taken as like, bro. This
You can
guy's
see his
ignorant.
point, but you're like, dude, this is kind of a douche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that?
So it's about tipping, I think,
They're all sitting in a table,
like at a restaurant.
and it's time to pay the bill. And so like everybody put in for tips. And he's the only one that doesn't put in for tips, and he gives a reason why he doesn't put in for tips.
I love
And
that
I remember the
monologue,
table
too.
scene, yeah, but
And
I
it
don't
makes
remember
you
the
wonder.
dialogue.
It's like half the population is gonna be like, he's right, and the other half is gonna be like, bro, like waitresses make a living off of tips.
Yeah.
He's like, don't give me that.
Yeah.
He's like, that's some bullshit. He's like, so the people work as hard as like in McDonald's and they do
McDonald's?
here. He's like, but how come we don't tip them? He's like,
Yeah. Would you tip somebody at McDonald's?
Uh-huh.
Technically, it's a restaurant.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you tip somebody at McDonald's?
Well, I mean, because I'm used to like seeing the little things that say "thank you for the tips" or whatever. But they
restaurants don't have that though.
No, the restaurants don't have that, but fast food joints don't have that either.
Well, restaurants have that, but I thought you were talking about like a tip jar.
No,
I'm like,
well, I
bro,
mean, like they don't have them at McDonald's. I mean,
Well, of course
obviously
not,
I
they
would
don't.
tip if I had that opportunity on a receipt.
It's a corporation. They're not gonna allow their employees to get tipped.
That's fucked up.
And any corporation would do the exact same thing. For example, when I used to work at MedMen,
Mhm.
they specifically said, you guys cannot take any tips.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if you guys ever gone to a shop before. The same thing, it was
they
casual
sometimes have tip jars there though.
at shops.
At dispensaries, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like back
So
then,
that goes to the company then?
No. So back then, when like marijuana was first introduced, yeah, you go to the shop, you had to have your medical card, obviously, and you would go buy your gram, eighth, whatever you wanted to purchase,
Whatever you want. Yeah.
and then there was a tip jar, and if you were generous enough, you go tip them. But MedMen being more corporate, they
Yeah.
told us, you guys cannot accept any tips.
Oh, okay. So some dispensaries, specifically MedMen, didn't have tip jars.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the reason they were corporate, they had
Yeah.
stocks in Wall Street. Those little shops around the corner in your house, shit, they're not fucking.
Yeah, they actually do tips. Yeah.
Yeah, they do tips, and you were courteous enough to be like, "Hey, man, true."
Thank you for your service.
So that's how
and
you
thank
can
for-
tell how some dispensaries were corporate or not.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Same thing. Restaurants aren't corporate unless it's like fast food, like BK, McDonald's, Wendy's.
Because restaurants are mostly, well, they're family.
I was gonna say privately owned, but even they're not. Actually, they are privately owned.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Like, I don't know. I'm just say restaurant. You guys know Casa Sanchez on Centinela?
Yeah.
I doubt that shit's corporate.
No,
Like,
that's
I'm sure it's a
not.
family.
Unless it's already overcharged and shit. Well,
They
well,
only
you pay
have
for
a
the
restaurant.
mariachis, huh?
It's good, by the way. You should
What happened?
Check it out. Casa Sanchez. It's
Oh,
really
wow.
good.
It's okay.
I like.
I liked it. Their meats are always.
I actually like the mariachi service over the food.
I just mostly go for the mariachi. Yeah.
You guys have a request? Hema, please.
And the host that they have for the mariachi is usually pretty good. Like he's funny most of the time.
That's exactly what you need. Like
Yeah.
in every band or trio or duet, somebody who fucking puts a, what do they call it? Like a party vibe to the party.
But just a good vibe overall.
Very, very funny. Funny. People like funny.
So Tarantino movies, Pulp Fiction was your favorite, right?
I think it has to be Pulp Fiction, honestly.
I
Is
mean, I would want to ask, what are your favorite parts? I'm sure these people already know, or like your favorite aspects of the movie.
Favorite aspects of the movie is how everything is just random, and you don't know what the hell's going on until like
Well, the
very
stories
end.
are kind of like jumbled around, but at the
Yeah.
end, you're like, oh, so this happened. Like you,
But for the same
Oh,
reason,
connect somehow.
for the same reason he said earlier, it's like, dude, Tarantino has his way of like, he puts 2 or 3 or 4 actors together in one room, and he writes a simple script, and I think he just freestyles like, all right, guys, just roll with it and action.
Yeah.
And there's
because
so
that's
many
how it does kind of
scenes.
feel like it. But I think because it feels so fluid, like
Yeah.
just the way, yeah, just the way just people talk to each other in his movies is
Well,
like
give you,
legit.
give you another example. What do you say? Hey, so I went to Holland, and everything's the metric system.
Oh yeah, he's
And like, bro, it's the smallest fucking conversation ever, but it's so normal.
it's interesting too.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in France? Like, no, what? It's like the Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese. You guys seen the SpongeBob and Patrick when they're doing the Quentin?
Yeah, yeah.
That
It's
shit is hilarious, bro.
Where?
You
It's
know
like,
that scene, right?
The one where he's him and John Travolta?
yeah.
They're talking about the quarter pounder,
Yeah.
and the metric system.
So they add that audio to a scene in SpongeBob, and it matches their lips, and it's like,
What?
yeah, it's like funny. It's like,
Travolta is SpongeBob, and Sam is Samuel is Patrick.
What the
But dude,
fuck?
it's hilarious. But they're talking
I've
about
never
the
seen
exact same
that. I
thing.
don't think I've seen that.
it's on
episode.
YouTube. Search SpongeBob Pulp Fiction. I'm sure it'll pop up.
You guys are gonna have a blast watching
Yeah.
that shit. That shit's so real. The lips match the words.
Like, you know what they use instead of ketchup on their fries over there? Like what? It's like mayonnaise. Ugh. He's like, hey, I seen him, man. They fucking drown him in that shit.
He sounds exactly like him, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, I just seen the movie, yo. Which is why I kind of wanted to bring up that question. I'm like, man, I gotta watch every Tarantino movie now, leading up to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because I haven't seen
that.
that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna be a good movie.
Yeah,
He doesn't disappoint. You guys have a least favorite Tarantino movie?
probably Hateful Eight. I mean, if least favorite, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's just on my list of Tarantino movies, I'd probably say
It
Hateful Eight.
would be top 5.
I don't think I would. They're only entertaining to me.
Yep. Say what
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
There's
saying
nothing to
they're.
hate. There's a good story. There's good like.
I'm saying they're all good, but
Mhm.
as far as like on my so what are your lowest rated? I'll say Tarantino movies. Like that
If
you-
somebody asked me that in public, I'd be like, "Don't make me do this."
I mean, honestly, the only thing would be the Django, just because of how long it lasts.
Yeah, I could
That's
see
the
that.
only thing I would
It is.
say.
It is a long movie. Like if I'm gonna watch it, I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I gotta get comfortable.
Yeah.
it's gonna
I
be
want
a
to be in the
long
comfort
ass.
of my own home.
Throw your
Give it a
shoes off
pause
and
at any
shit.
time.
But it's one of those movies where like it just goes on and you don't. Well, actually, never mind. Like the last maybe 40, 30 minutes, you're like checking your time. But before
shit.
that, it's so fucking good.
I even forgot to take a shit. Damn.
Christoph Waltz is such a good character. in that
Sick
movie.
ass actor, though.
Dude, he's just so. Fuck, I mean, just the writing of Tarantino with his acting is just a perfect blend.
That's how you know. I think Quentin Tarantino's casting group. They're like, "Hey man, this fool has specific guidelines, bro."
I think because he writes characters around certain actors, like because he wrote the Django part for Will Smith. Like, you know, it's like he makes up these characters with an actor in mind. So I think maybe you know, I'm like.
the fool's like just in his house. What would Will Smith do?
I know he also has like collaborations in some movies with like some
Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, like with Sin City too. I heard he had a little.
Oh
bit
yeah,
of,
he
Oh, I didn't know that.
he has like writing credits in some
Yeah.
movies. Yeah. He did one.
I can tell the actions from fucking Quentin Tarantino. Suki or what's her name?
Oh, Suki from Sin City.
Yeah.
Or you guys seen From Dusk Till Dawn?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly directed by Robert Rodriguez, but Tarantino had a lot of the
Yeah.
writing dialogue, and you can tell. Man, that movie's a trip though, dude.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh damn, it's gonna be an action movie.
Or it's gonna be like a heist, like robbers type movie and shit.
Next thing you know, I'm like, oh, it's a horror movie.
It
Oh,
like
wait.
switches on a
Oh, like, wait, hold
dime.
up, what the fuck am I watching?
I remember one of the parts where I was like, "Where the hell is this going?" It's not even when the vampires come out yet, and it's like when I think some guy's picking on that Mexican dude. Remember with like long hair or whatever? He has like leather jacket. He just sits back and he has a gun with two revolvers that are signifying, nuts. And I was just like, that is so random in a movie like this because it was so serious for the first half of the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell? And it starts getting a little more ridiculous until it finally gets to the fucking vampire part. And you're like, what the shit?
360 on that shit.
360 on that shit.
Now, those are some real fucking vampires, though. Not no Twilight bullshit.
Yeah.
I thought those were real vampires. Twilight bullshit. Sparky fucking.
I know.
So...
Come here, I'll save you. But
they're actually pretty good movies, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, did no one notice the fucking Aztec temple behind that bar? Remember it?
Now I noticed it.
At the end of the movie, it like zooms out. I'm like, no one really
ever.
No one's about to leave, and he's like, hold up, I gotta take a piss. Goes around the corner and takes a piss and sees the temple. No one ever did. Come on, man.
Hey Jimmy, get on to this. It's a fucking temple back there.
This is where they keep the puss. It's where the puss hide.
Oh man.
But yeah, that movie's a trip, man.
Sick, yeah.
Tarantino. No,
go right ahead. Oh, ladies first.
No, come on.
One of y'all go. Come on. Or else.
All right. Well, I heard supposedly he's supposed to come out with Kill Bill 3.
Oh,
I heard that too.
I heard that. Supposedly it's in the talks, not in the works.
He would. There was also a talks of him working on a Star Trek movie.
What?
A few years ago, yeah.
A Star Trek movie?
Star Trek, yeah. I was shocked too. I was shocked too, but it was a rumor flying around for a while.
Maybe it might be like him kind of co-writing it.
Maybe,
yeah. Because
they said he was working in there. I don't know.
He said that he was willing to do a Star Trek movie.
What?
Is there any movie of his that is scientific?
From Dusk Till Dawn.
I mean, yeah, that's not really.
But that's Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, that's
mostly.
Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, but the I think the movie genre would be a little more horror. But what I'm saying is like sci-fi. Like, does Quentin Tarantino have a sci-fi movie?
Maybe he wants to try something new.
Yeah.
I mean,
who the fuck does he think he is? Trying new stuff.
he's goddamn Tarantino.
Daddy Tarantino.
Yeah.
Daddy Tarantino. Bobby Tarantino.
That'd be a trip seeing him make a Star Trek movie.
I know. I'm like, that'd be interesting. I'd go watch it.
I've never been a Star Trek fan, but I'd actually go watch it.
I've only seen the J.J. Abrams Star Trek, which I was actually.
I heard those are bomb.
They're actually pretty good. Which got me high hoped for when he was working on Star Wars. I mean, he only did the first one, the Force Awakens, but that one was okay. I still preferred. Out of the recent Star Wars trilogies, I would prefer the recent Star Trek trilogies. I'll say that. And I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Yeah.
That's a trip to me. What?
I don't know. You talk to your boy.
The first one,
the
first Star Trek is.
Wait, Star Wars or Star Trek?
Well, I'm comparing.
I've never seen Star Trek, so I mean.
Yeah, the first Star Trek is good. Like, you'll get into it, and it's like It doesn't really, like, the second one is really good. It's got Doctor Strange as the villain, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, wow.
And he plays a role, and there's twists and turns, betrayals and shit. You're like, oh,
sick ass fool.
Dude, they're actually pretty good.
Like, just like work.
I don't know why they never come my attention.
Trust me, like, I didn't see him until I think the first one was on Netflix, like a while back, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll check it out.
What?
And I actually ended up really liking it.
Doesn't Zoe Saldana come out in it too?
Yeah, she does.
She comes out in it, huh?
Wait, who?
Zoe Saldana.
Oh.
Yeah, Gamora.
And then Spock. Out of all the characters, well, you guys know who Spock is, right? The
name's Spock.
The guy with the bangs.
Yeah, him. I actually really like this character, especially. Oh,
what?
Well, he has a big part in the first one. They're good movies. Check them out.
That's a trip. Okay, well, I'll check them out. Because, I mean, honestly, like, you know how they used to have those Star Wars and Star Trek people, like, oh, Star Wars is better, Star Trek is this. I used to be one of those, like, I prefer Star Wars way better.
Yeah, same here. Well,
but that's because I never gave Star Trek a chance, though.
Well, Star Trek was mostly, like, TV shows, and it was kind of, like, slowish. And then they had some movies, which was, I heard some were good, but I just never got into them. For me, I just grew up with Star Wars. Like, you know. fucking Empire Strikes Back Yoda. That's all I remember as a kid.
If it was a beast or what?
Yeah, dude, that's the best version of Yoda.
For real? Like you're not lying to me or anything?
Is it part of the Marvel universe?
Hey, Jedi's come down. No, I remember going to go see the Phantom Menace in theaters.
Oh, actually, I think I saw that one.
I went to go see and Attack of the Clones in theaters.
Is that with Darth Maul?
Darth Maul.
The first one with Darth Maul.
Shoom.
I remember every little kid in my kindergarten class and shit. Got the Darth Maul
Lunchboxes and
Because he was such a badass.
yeah.
Oh, as a kid, he was a badass character, and he had a badass fight. He was taking on two Jedi
at the same time with a fucking one lightsaber.
But that's the thing about the Phantom Menace, like the episode 1. It's like it's a bunch of political talk, and you're like, what?
And the kid being like, "Oh my God, Mom, make it stop!"
Yeah, and then it finally like the last 30 minutes gets into that fight with Darth Maul, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
With the fucking what's his name? The guy with the long hair.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
What's his real name though?
Liam
he's the
Neeson.
one that does the
Bacon.
yes.
Liam Neeson.
Liam.
Oh, Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson
Yeah,
and
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor, yes.
There's gonna be that
Obi-Wan
show.
I thought it was gonna come out this year. What the hell?
It's not.
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't seen any trailers.
Apparently, yeah, it's coming soon. They already have the gear and all that.
I mean, they
shit.
did a good job with Mandalorian, and so I'm looking forward to.
I hope there's a third season.
There's gonna be.
I hope.
No, yeah, it's for sure gonna be a third season.
Ah,
So you've seen all the way up to season 2?
yeah. Remember the final episode? Yeah, when
I was like, "There's
Damn.
no way." I was like, "There's no way."
This nicotine sucks.
I was like, "There's no way they're gonna do that. No way." And then you see the green lightsaber first. You're like, "No, no, there's no way."
Who's it supposed to be?
Luke.
Oh.
So, so TV shows and movies, you don't think they're gonna
ever crossover,
especially since the timeline of Mandalorian takes place in the later movies.
Yeah.
So you're like, no.
And there's
But
no Jedi left.
The setup was so good. It's like, he's like, one X-wing, we're saved. And at first, when she said that, I was like, because she was being sarcastic, I'm like, wait, X-wing?
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way they're gonna bring him in. And then, so basically, I'm gonna set up the scene for him. They're trapped. They're about to get
finished it.
What?
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
I think I was just fucking with you.
Wait, so you finished Mandalorian
I've
season
never
2?
seen any of them.
Oh,
I just
she's not gonna watch him, so I'm gonna spoil it.
Yeah.
So they're trapped on this ship, like in a room in the
Spoilers
ship,
ahead for none of y'all
Yeah.
that ever seen it.
and these I think like 6 like super strong droids are like about to bust in, and it's like one of those moments of desperation. Yeah,
The biological attack.
dude. And then all you see is this one little ship show up and land, and that's when the girl's like, "Oh, one X-wing, we're saved!" Like all sarcastic and shit. And then I'm like, I was like,
They're
one
not
X-wing.
gonna do
I'm like, they're not gonna
this.
do this. So then, this whole time through like security cameras, you see this Jedi just with the green lightsaber just chop all these fools down, work his way
The
up.
music is what pumped me up. I was like, no. I actually cried.
I really wanna watch
But they set it up so well because
good.
at first they show the lightsaber, the green lightsaber. You're like, Luke had a green lightsaber. There's no way they're gonna bring him to the show. And then they have a shot of the black glove, and you're like,
Oh.
no fucking way.
The one that got chopped off.
Yeah. So you're like, no way. It's not gonna be Luke. It's gonna be somebody else. Whatever, he mows these guys down, is able to reach the room they're in, and the door opens. This fool pull backs his hood. It's fucking
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker, bro. I lost it,
The
bro.
old Luke Skywalker is the.
Yeah.
Is the
Well,
young
it's
Luke
it
Skywalker.
was computer. Well, it's the young Skywalker.
But it's computer generated.
It's computer generated, yeah.
They did
And
what they
you
did
could
for
tell
him.
that was the
Yeah.
only complaint. But the fact that they brought him in, I was like,
So Mandalorian
Yes.
is set years after.
episode 3.
Oh,
It's in between episode 3 and episode 4.
Oh shit! For real?
Or no. In between episode 6 and episode 7.
Oh shit! Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Because Yoda's already dead.
Oh, yeah.
Damn. What? Yeah, I really want to watch it just because it seems like a really good story. Honestly.
That Mandalorian series. I was always like, I don't want to watch it. Like, But
And
when
it does start off a little slow.
a little slow.
It's a I'll consider it a space western because it's kind of yes, it is.
Definitely.
You guys don't appreciate how good slow movies are, huh?
Or just good stories.
Do you really want to get like straight to the point?
I appreciate good stories. I'll say that.
Okay.
I appreciate.
Regardless of-
You want to get straight to
I
the
low
point?
key appreciate mindfucks. Like it, like totally
I know.
like 360s.
Well, that's why like
yeah.
a good story would set that up.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like
I personally say always give something time. Even if it starts out slow, don't worry about it.
But
Don't
that's
give
what it was.
don't
They
give
were-
up on the
I
show,
remember
please.
like it was the first season that came out, and I was just like kind of like I don't want to watch it. I don't know.
After
To
the
me-
first episode, I was kind of hooked. After he ran into Baby Yoda, I was like, oh,
Yes,
Dude,
but then everyone started talking about Baby Yoda.
oh yeah. Also, for you, it was a surprise.
It was a surprise. Yeah,
I mean, no, for you, it wasn't a surprise because you had heard about Baby Yoda already.
Baby Yoda, yeah.
Like I saw it when it
But
first came
then
out.
It was like, oh well, this isn't Yoda. Like
It's
this
not.
This isn't Yoda.
That's what I'm calling him.
You're like whoever's calling you Baby Yoda. Fuck you. You guys don't know shit, huh?
No, I'm like whoever doesn't call him Baby Yoda, fuck you, because they actually say his name in the series.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't like it. I'm calling him Baby Yoda.
He's Baby Yoda.
But I saw it when it
Baby
first
Yoda.
came out. I saw the episode when it first came out, and it was like a Luke moment. I was like, what the fuck? When does this take place? And then I let her find out that it's not Baby Yoda.
Oh yeah, that series was really good. I admit, when Luke came out, I shed a tear. I was like, wow. And then when he,
Dude,
yeah,
Not gonna lie, I got
it was
emotional.
a very
tingles.
like, goddamn, I was like, ah. If I could have screamed, I would have screamed, but
You should have, bro. We're in the 21st century. You
people
just,
would probably
just
thought I was
scream,
getting
bro.
fucking kidnapped or something.
I was screaming and clapping, bro. I am
Yeah.
not even gonna lie. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, when he finally reaches the final ones where they're trying to fucking break into, and he fucking kills them all, I'm just like,
This was roommates are like,
Dude, I texted a friend. I'm like, have you seen the new Mandalorian yet? He's like, no, not yet. I'm like, bro,
why are we even friends?
hop on it. And then like right after like 30, 40 minutes, however long the episode is, he texted me back. He's like, that was wild. Like,
It was like,
Yeah.
I told you so.
I was like, dog.
the kid in me was like, fuck yeah, what it was leading up to.
What is this?
Jesus Christ.
It's a good story.
You went from Tarantino to Mandalorian and stuff like that. I think we all can appreciate good writing.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Like, I'm sorry to bring this up again, but like honestly, like the way that I also got mindfucked with WandaVision, I was telling him, I was like, this is boring. I don't want to watch
it does start off kind of weird.
Yeah, and then when you get to that third episode of when it starts, like you start discovering the actual shit, you're like, okay, now I.
It has a lot to do with reality.
Yeah.
And,
But
yeah.
like it was
You
one of
know
those things,
something is
yeah,
off.
and I was like
Yeah.
one of those things where I was literally gonna text him because he was the one saying, watch it,
Stick with it.
and I was like, I hate this shit. Why the fuck? I was like, what the fuck is the whole point of this? It's just gonna be a show about them living happily ever after.
It's
It's like a literal
Yeah.
show, like a literal
Yeah.
sitcom. It was
And
like
then,
a sitcom.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
of a sudden went 360 on me, and I was just like,
Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
yeah.
It's nuts.
Actually,
In order to be a writer, like you have to think about all this shit, like the impossible shit. And it
And
might be a
have it
gamble.
make sense. At the
Yeah.
I think that's the
Yeah.
toughest part.
And it could be a gamble or a risk.
Yeah.
Introducing it to your boss. That motherfucker's like, bro.
At this point, though, I would watch pretty much anything Marvel releases, and then give my judgments after.
okay. So I'm gonna actually, because I kind of remembered something that me and you
All right.
discussed maybe 2 weeks ago. We
Right.
watched Captain Marvel.
No. Have you seen Falcon and Winter Soldier?
2 episodes.
Okay. Well, that's something.
2 episodes.
You're ahead of me. I haven't seen any of Captain Marvel.
Oh, wait. Oh, you guys. I thought you said Captain Falcon.
Give me the
Shit, man. Come on, dude.
No, but I honestly think Captain Marvel is something like I think you should just watch just because she comes out in it later on, and then you kind of understand
She
why.
comes out in an Avengers or other Marvel movie, and she's like, "Oh, I can't be here. I gotta go save another planet." I'm like, "Oh my god!"
I'm like, God have mercy on
Then
me.
stay away. Don't even show up to the meetings. Just stay away. If
Wanna be?
we're telling
get
you
lost.
we're telling you about a problem, and then you always hit us with like, "Oh, sorry, I got something to do." Like, well, don't come to the meetings.
Well, okay, same thing for Shang-Chi when she was there and she. Was like, I
Exactly
gotta
my
go.
point. Yeah.
But she's probably the
Stop
most
inviting her.
requested one that I don't know, the one that really has to go everywhere. I don't know. She's
So don't show up to the Avengers meetings. If she's that busy, just don't show up.
don't come anymore.
In Endgame is like, oh, sorry, I got to handle this part of the section. I'm like, well,
Dude, the party started like 3 hours ago. Like, it's almost over. What the fuck you doing here?
I'm like, hey, just bring Thor. He's better anyway.
I think so too. I prefer Thor over Captain Marvel.
I mean, well, because Thor has been there since day one.
Yeah.
The first Avengers.
But I kind of want to see what Captain Marvel has to more.
If she was gonna be,
sure she can
if
do
she was gonna
more.
be that type of character, but like I got something to handle, just save her for later.
And
Bring
later
her
on
in
in
for
movies,
later.
Okay, don't we always have a friend like that?
Me? Yeah, but we're not Marvel.
We can be.
Dude, yeah, those things were pretty cool. Then I have seen Winter and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
It's a good show. But out of all the Disney Plus shows, for me personally, it's still Loki. I think just because of
Really?
I did not expect them to bring in Kang like they did. Like, because he was cast in Ant-Man 2. So I thought our first time seeing him was going to be there. But then, no, it's in Loki. And I'm like, holy. Like, and once I saw the character, I was like, like I fucking gasped. I was like, that's Kang. And then and then he started acting different. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
is that Kang? I'm like, Kang's a dick. This guy's like regular dude.
Regular degular.
But then, of course, they explain they kind of show his character throughout the episode, and you're like, oh.
Have you been watching What If?
No, I'm waiting for other episodes to come out. I am gonna check it out though.
I want to check. I haven't started checking it out though.
I don't think if waiting all the episodes to come out is
Really important, but
Really important,
There is
yeah.
one episode that I heard that's pretty cool. That's supposedly what they're going to come out with Marvel Zombies somehow later on, because this one episode was they actually got really good feedback from it, and they're trying to incorporate Marvel Zombies.
well. Now I'm saying they can bring in side stories that they had in the comic books into movies now because of the multiverse. They can make a movie that doesn't directly relate to the current MCU timeline. You know, it's like
all different.
yeah. So I'm like that. They did this pretty smart.
Yeah,
That's how they can keep doing Venom
That's
movies.
what I'm gonna say.
I mean, for example, with Venom movies, is like, of course, Venom is still going to be his own character, and he might interact with Tom Holland's Spider-Man,
They're
but
actually saying that is actually
because of the hat, you seen that?
Yeah,
You seen that? Yeah, I saw that too. But I'm like, I mean, it's dope if they have a cameo, but I just
but
think
I mean, they low-key already had a cameo in third Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. Had
What?
a little bit of it with Venom.
oh no, but
no.
as far as the MCU goes, it's like
Oh,
yeah. And then
That was trash anyways.
I was about to
I
say
mean, still,
that Venom was like
yes,
whack.
I know it was whack. It only was like
They were like, oh, we're trying to make it realistic, not make him too buff. I'm like, well, get a buff actor.
So
Duh.
you guys went with Topher Grace?
For real.
I mean, it was. I mean, it's still an interesting story to me. I liked it. I can't say nothing bad about it.
Yeah, but the way you seem, you're not convinced.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't convinced that could totally be Venom.
But you still like the movie.
Yeah, I still like the movie.
Cool. Acceptable.
I mean, I did like the final fight between Sandman and Venom, like that. That was
Yeah.
pretty dope to me. Even like to this day, like I like it. I like the trilogy overall,
Yeah,
but just the third one is the weakest one.
yeah,
I'll say that.
that's true. So Doc Ock still.
I like Doc
Doc
Ock.
Ock, Spider-Man: No Way
That
Home.
scene where they fight on the clock.
Oh, I love that
Yeah.
scene. Shit, I might
It was
watch
pretty
it
good.
pretty soon too.
Yeah,
One in daytime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they fall onto the train.
Train, and then they find out that who really is Spider-Man.
She's badass.
It's just a kid.
Joey Diaz's cameo.
She's just fucking Kevin. What the fuck?
Like, he's younger than my son.
Yeah,
I was just like,
and they're
You
all
guys know
just
who
like-
Joey Diaz is?
it's a comedian.
Comedian, podcaster.
Yeah, he sounds
He's
so
friends with
familiar.
Joey. I think I've sent you some of his. Oh, the stand up I sent you about where he talks about the nuns.
Yeah, the good guy.
You know,
Oh man.
you know he's the guy in Spider-Man 2 that he's like, you want to get to him, you gotta go through me. The Doc Ock and the train. That's him.
Really?
Yeah, that's his
And Doc
cameo.
Ock was like, okay.
And then he sputs them all out.
He's like, you want to get to him, gotta go through
They
me.
hired him for the accent.
Yeah.
Or the dialect.
But that's him. This is his little cameo.
That scene was pretty good. I actually really like that scene. It's pretty sad. Just a kid. That whole build up for that whole thing, though. Even the scene where he goes on a date with Mary Jane and Doc Ock just throws the car at them. And he senses it.
You know, that, and I still appreciate the fight between him and Green Goblin at the end of the,
Oh, yeah, with
of the
Harry
first
Osborn.
one. That shit is brutal, bro.
I like that shit. He tries to be sneaky with the ship, and then the fool flips. He's like, oh.
But before that, when
Willem Dafoe?
yeah, but when Green Goblin is kicking his ass, like that shit is brutal. And I think that was one of my biggest disappointments for Homecoming, is it felt a little. So the fight scenes at least felt a little too lighthearted. I get it because it's like Marvel nowadays. It's, you know, it's supposed to be funny, lighthearted, but the brutality and the Tobey Maguire, that shit. God, he's
Half
whooping
of
his
his
ass.
eyes
Yeah,
missing, and
the
he's
fucking
all
bomb.
bloody.
He's like,
Yeah.
I like that scene.
yeah. As a kid, you're like,
He's like,
you're seeing your
flying
hero get his ass
Yeah.
kicked. But as far as the comics, I think that's like some of the best Spider-Man stories is when he gets his fucking ass kicked
Yeah.
and he bounces back. Like that's Spider-Man to me. Like, that shit's sick.
Tell me you guys thought it was funny too when Green Goblin, he pretended to be an old lady in the firehouse.
Only pros be hero.
or when they're doing the Macy parade or whatever.
Oh my god,
And
yes.
Spider-Man throws the punch.
Impressive. Fucking, you look like a Power Rangers villain.
Bro,
Like,
yeah. Oh my god.
That his glider and just like
I'll say
flies
the
off.
suit was super corny. I'm not even gonna say a little.
I tell
Corny.
him all the time, like, bro, something about the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, they're corny as
Yeah.
fuck.
But
You
I mean,
also
so
can
are
tell
the
that
comic
fucking
books.
He's Peter Parker. He's so awkward in some of the
He's
scenes.
awkward. He's the
Yes.
most awkward fucking.
But that's Peter Parker.
They know how to
Yeah.
portray, yes, and
Yeah.
it fits so perfectly.
Like that scene where, like, I think it's in the second movie where he's gonna go see Mary Jane and he sits in a seat and then two big ass like, and he's just like all fucking like.
Yeah, he played a really good Spider-Man. Like his Spider-Man, still my favorite.
I feel like Toby was a better Peter Parker. At the time, Andrew Garfield was a better Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man, not Peter Parker.
Okay.
Because he actually cracked jokes and shit like that. But now I feel Tom Holland kind of has
the best
a
one?
good measure of both. Yeah.
I think so too. He has that like geeky little kid.
And he has the
type of,
awkwardness at the same time.
Yeah,
you know?
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yet to watch.
Damn, I forgot the mics were here. I thought it was just a normal conversation.
I have yet to watch this, so I still need to
I've
watch
been
it.
pushing him like.
Homecoming is okay. For me, it's a little disappointing for me. Far From Home was definitely a lot better.
Mm.
I feel like the villain was comic book accurate, except for his like how he started off.
Wait, is there Mary Jane in the Andrew Garfield one?
Kinda.
Like a little bit, right? It's more focused on
It's-
Stacey Gwen, right?
No, it's
Gwen
a
Stacy.
it's a different type of
Gwen Stefani.
her initials are still MJ, but I think there's something there. Her name is something different in.
And who was Emma Roberts?
I never gave
Wait.
them a chance.
She was the girl that had the blonde hair. Cause that's all I know.
in Spider-Man 3?
Was it Spider-Man 3?
Emma Roberts?
No, remember that girl that's usually redheaded, but she was blonde in this movie?
What's her name? The
Wait,
the one from Superbad.
in what Spider-Man?
She came out in, I think, the Andrew Garfield one.
Yeah.
no?
Oh yeah, Emma Stone.
Emma Stone. There you
Yeah,
go. Emma
yeah.
Stone.
That one was Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, Gwen Stacy.
But in the recent ones, there's I forget her name, but Zendaya plays her. You guys know that actress?
Oh yeah. She plays in the Tom Holland ones.
Yeah, but I think her initials are still MJ, but her name is different, which I didn't like.
Michael Jordan.
Jordan.
Michael Jackson. They just being ignorant.
Allegedly.
Like, hey, I heard your boyfriend's Spider-Man. Nah, they just being ignorant. Allegedly.
No, we have pictures of them. Nah, they just ignorant.
Like, no, Mysterio revealed his identity. Nah, they just being ignorant. That's gonna be her in No Way Home. Like, nah, they just being ignorant.
Oh, so that she has a different name.
Kinda.
I did not know that.
Same initials, just different name. I don't know. I mean, I like
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael.
You're stupid.
He's
Michael
like
B. Jordan.
Human Torch.
Oh my god, I did not know that.